Hey guys, so today I want to share with you how I make one of my favorite Korean dishes, and this is a Sundubu Jjigae, which is basically a soft tofu stew, and of course contains soft tofu cooked with some zucchini, a mix of mushrooms, and it has a really light but really rich and flavorful broth that has some gochugaru, which gives it that added spice. So let's get started. We're gonna need 200 grams of sliced king oyster or shiitake mushrooms, 150 grams of enoki mushrooms. I love enoki because they kind of like stringy mushrooms. We're of course gonna need some 300 grams of sundubu or the silken tofu that comes in like tubes or like packs. Some 250 grams of zucchini, so just slice this into small pieces. We're gonna need 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce or more to taste, and some toasted sesame oil, around 1.5 tablespoons for cooking later on. We're gonna need some chopped leeks or green onions, so this is like super fragrant. Some onions, just thinly sliced regular onions. Some gochugaru, which is a Korean hot pepper powder, so for the extra added spice. And we're gonna need 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. So we're gonna set this aside first, and we're gonna go prepare some like 3 cups of vegetable broth or water. So I tried it with both, and both work well. So I heated here a Dutch oven, so I actually recommend a Korean stone bowl, but I'm going to show you guys how to cook it in a regular pot as well. So just stir fry the onions in the sesame oil, and just until they're lightly translucent, add in the garlic and just kind of mix that up together. And afterwards, we're going to go ahead and add in the gochugaru and the soy sauce. And after, we're gonna go and add in the king oyster or the shiitake mushrooms. So just kind of mix that together in the seasoning. And then once it's well coated in the chili and the soy sauce, you can add in more sesame oil if you like for extra flavor and extra fragrance. And just mix that up again as well. And afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and pour in the zucchinis and just kind of mix that up again as well and coat it in the spice. And afterwards, we're just gonna go ahead and pour in the water or the vegetable broth if you're using. And then just kind of stir that together and leave it to simmer over medium-high heat. And afterwards, we're just gonna go ahead and cover this and leave it to boil for a few minutes until the vegetables cook down. So while that's happening, we're gonna go ahead and prepare the sundubu, which is the soft tofu. So if you're using like a tube type of tofu like I am, I just kind of like cut it where the lines are and just open it up. So I'm gonna squeeze it out of the tubes. If you're using like those in a tray that come in like cubes, just slice them up into small pieces. You can also just like add it straight into the pot later on and just break it up there, but yeah, just slice them up here. And afterwards, once it boils, I basically just added in the tofu and the enoki mushrooms. I'm just gonna taste the soup here. If not, you can add in more soy sauce if you like. And this is how it's made in a stone bowl. So I just want to show this for like not so aesthetic purposes, but I prefer cooking it this way. I added in a mix of vegetable broth and water here, and just kind of stir that together, and I covered it. And after, when it boils, when you open it up and kind of see that it's boiling, I went ahead and added in the sundubu or the soft tofu, and I just really threw in the whole tube in here. And I just broke it apart afterwards with like a soup spoon and some chopsticks. So you can also just break it apart later on when you're eating, but I wanted to break it apart so it kind of absorbs the flavor of the soup well when it cooks down later. So I just kind of mix that up and broke apart the tofu. And once I was happy with how the pieces looked like, I just basically covered it again, and I left it to boil for a few more minutes so that the tofu cooks through. And look how good this looks, and it's super comforting really. So this is the finished sundubu, and I love this clay pot because it comes with a base, so you can like directly just transfer it from the heat straight to your table and it won't like burn your surface. So I added in just more enoki mushrooms on top for like extra mushrooms and some chopped green onions, and I mix everything together. So it's still gonna cook through because the bowl is like really hot, so be careful with that too. And yeah, so I enjoy this with some rice, some steamed short grain rice. I also had here some of my homemade vegan kimchi. I will attach the recipe link in the description. And I made some kimchi pancake or kimchi-jeon, and I really love this combo. So it's like a whole Korean meal at home. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.